The Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta (MEND) is a loose web for armed groups in Nigeria's oil-producing Niger Delta region. These gangs have spent years kidnapping oil workers, attacking oil fields, blowing up pipelines, and fighting Nigeria's army. Niger Delta politicians originally created the gangs by arming young men to use as their private armies and to rig elections. But later, the young men began to turn the guns on the government and oil companies, organizing into a militant movement under the banner MEND. They demand that the Delta receive more benefit from its oil, with a fairer share of the wealth invested in roads, schools, hospitals, clean water, and power supply. The Delta is impoverished, in spite of 5 decades of oil extraction. But MEND's gangs also run criminal rackets, kidnapping civilians for ransom and making billions of dollars by stealing crude oil from pipelines. In the past, they have cut Nigeria's oil production by 1/3, causing spikes in the global oil price. The group was successful, partly because of a sophisticated media strategy. MEND's ability to attract international attention via the media illustrates that the group is fully aware of its ability to affect international oil prices. Yet if the media has somewhat overstated the threat MEND poses, the Nigerian government has failed to take the group seriously enough. Save for its negotiations in April 2006, the government has refused to enter a dialogue with the group or respond to any of its political demands, instead attempting to counter MEND by sending security forces into the Delta. The Movement of the Survival of the Ogoni People, also known as Mosop, is a mass-based social movement organization of the indigenous Ogoni people of central Nigeria Delta. Mosop is the umbrella organization of currently 11 member groups representing more than 700,000 indigenous Ogoni in campaigning for social, economic, and environmental justice in the Niger Delta of Nigeria. Mosop's mandated use of non-violent methods to promote democratic principles assist Ogoni people pursue rights of self-determination in environmental issues in the Niger Delta. Cultural rights and practices for Ogoni people. Founded in 1990 by Ken Saro-Wiwa, Ogoni chiefs of Mosop initiated efforts with the Ogoni Bill of Rights. Saro-Wiwa led its submission to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the United Nations Working Group on Indigenous People in Geneva. In 1996, Mosop, along with founder Ken Saro-Wiwa, received the Right Livelihood Award for their exemplary courage in striving non-violently for civil, economic, and environmental rights of their people. On November 10, 1995, 9 activists from the movement, along with playwright and Nobel Prize nominee Ken Saro-Wiwa, were hanged 10 days after being convicted by the Nigerian government on charges of incitement to murder of the 4 Ogoni leaders. In the final address to the military-appointed tribunal, Saro-Wiwa concludes the responsibility of shell cooperation and its action as war crimes against the Ogoni people. Compelling new evidence suggests that the Nigerian military killed 4 Ogoni elders whose murders led to the execution of the playwright and activist Ken Saro-Wiwa in 1995. The evidence also reveals that the notorious military commander Paul Okotimo, whose troops were implicated in other crimes, was in the play of shell at time for the killings and was driven around in shell vehicle. On November 10, 2014, Mosop President Cyril Pigbara at the 19th anniversary commemoration of the Ogoni martyrs held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, called on the federal government to clear the late activist Ken Saro-Wiwa and the other 9 Ogoni people executed by the General Cyril Abacha's government for murder. Pigbara recorded that the UN, which monitored the trial of Saro-Wiwa and Ogoni 9, observed that the return verdict did not follow any local or international standard.